Hey guys. Alright, so yesterday we talked about verbs and the different tenses or the different times that you can do something. Because we all know that a verb is something that you can do. Yep, it's like an action, you can get up and do it. Like I'm talking, I'm moving, I'm sitting. Those are all verbs, things that you can do. But you can do them at different times. Like you can do something in the past, you can do it in the present, or you can do it in the future. And that's what we talked about yesterday, the different tenses or the different times that you can do something. Just remember that past means you've already done it, it's already happened. Present means you're doing it right now, so present is now. And then the future means that you haven't done it yet, you're going to do it. So it hasn't happened yet. So we're going to practice with that just a little bit more today so we remember what to do to each verb to make it in the past or the present or the future. So, alright, this is the chart that we worked on yesterday. And we put them all, these were the verbs that could be done in the past, these were the verbs that could be done in the present, and these were the verbs that could be done in the future. And if you remember in our lesson yesterday, we tried to look at the verbs and we talked about what they all had or what they had in common, what was the same about them. So we did realize that the past tense, if something's in the past, they always have to have ed. That's what you have to do to a verb to show that you've already done something. You add ed to it. If you cleaned something, you already did it in the past. Or if you crashed your car yesterday, that means you already did it. So all of these were things that you've already done in the past. That's what you do when you put ed. And then we also realized yesterday that if it's in the future, what did we have to add at the beginning? That's right, you had to put will at the beginning to show that you've already, not that you've already done, that you're going to do it. You will crash the car if you don't slow down. You will clean your room after you spill the M&Ms everywhere. Those are all things that you're going to do. So you say you will do it. And that's what you do in the future. And then the present tense, you don't really have to change the verbs too much. A lot of times they would just be normal. You don't have anything added like the word jump or the word crash. Sometimes you can put ing on it. Like I am cleaning my room or I am talking. You can put ing to show that you're doing it right now. And then sometimes we had to put s's to make them agree. Like the boy opens his present. You have to say opens instead of open, just to make it agree. We've talked about that before too, how sometimes you have to put an s and sometimes you don't. Sorry guys. So present tense, they don't change too much, except sometimes you can put ing or sometimes you might need to add an s. So let's practice that just a little bit more in this one. So we've got some verbs here, see and sleep and cry and run. Those are all things that you can do. They're all verbs. And we're going to make all these verbs present tense. That means you're doing it right now if it's in the present. And remember what we just talked about. You can leave them all alone sometimes to be the present. That means you don't do anything to it. Or we could add s's to these. Oops. You can add an s sometimes to make it present too, like the boy sees a bird. You can add an s. Sometimes you can also add ing. The baby is sleeping right now. So they can stay the same with nothing being added, or you can add an s or an ing sometimes in present tense. But that's all you'd need to do to make the verbs present tense, that you're doing it right now. Or the boys run to catch the dog. The girls cry when you pull their hair. That all means that it's happening right now. The baby is sleeping. The boy sees a bird. Those are all things happening right now in the present. Now these verbs, these are all verbs again, watch and talk and laugh and crush. Those are all things you can do. This time we're going to make these past tense. Remember what we talked about. If you're going to make it past tense, you're going to have to add Yeah, you got to add ed to all these words. So you didn't watch TV yesterday. You watched TV yesterday. So you got to put ed. You didn't talk on the phone 3 days ago. You talked on the phone 3 days ago because you already did it. Past means you already did it. You have to put ed. You didn't crush the pop can when you got done a few minutes ago. You crushed it because you already did it a few minutes ago. It's already been done. You crushed. You didn't laugh at the joke your brother told you over the weekend. You laughed at the joke because you already did it. So if it's past tense, you're going to have to add this ed to the end of the word. That's all you have to do if it's past tense. You just add ed. And ed means that you already did it. You talked, you laughed, you crushed, you watched. You've already done those things. Alright, and then on this one, I've got some more verbs. We've got ride, kick, sing, and swim. Those are all things you can do. This time we're going to make them future tense, which means we're going to do it in the future. We haven't done it yet. Do you guys remember what we have to add to make them future tense? Yeah, we have to add the word will. So, I will ride my bike when it quits raining. You just have to put will in front of it and make will ride. I will kick the soccer ball if it comes my way. If I'm playing soccer outside, I will kick it, but I can't do it until it comes to me. So I will do it. I haven't done it yet, but I will. That's in the future. It means it hasn't happened yet. We will swim in the pool when it gets warm. We can't swim now because it's not warm. But in the future, we will swim. Future means you're going to do it. And then we will sing at church when we get to go back. So will is what you add to make it the future. Okay? You just add will to it. That's all you got to do in the future. So just going back over, in the past, you have to add ed. Sorry. In the present, you can leave it alone and not add anything. Or you can add s or ing. Sorry, guys. And then remember, in the future, you have to add the word will. That's all you do. So we're going to practice this just a little bit more with these words, and then there's some that I'm going to let you do on your own, okay? Alright, so the word dance, and it tells me I'm supposed to do it in the past. So what would I have to do to dance to make it in the past? Yeah, you got to put ed to make it danced. I danced the other day. And since this word already has an E, we're just going to already put a D. We don't have to put another E. So, danced. Oh, we got the word sing, and we want to do it in the present. Remember, present means right now. So you could just put an S there if you want to, like the boy sings. That's in the present. Because remember, you can add an S in the present. Oh, there's another present. Remember, you could also put ing if it was in the present. So we could change see into seeing. I am seeing my computer. And then watch, ooh, it says we have to do it in the future. And remember, if you're going to change it to the future, you have to put the word will. Yep, we will watch TV when we get done with our work. So that's future. Remember, past, you put ed. Future, you put the word will, and then in the present, you can put s or ing. Alright, here's a little bit more that we're going to practice with. Oh, we got kick. What would I have to do to kick to make it past? Good. In the past, you're going to put ed. You kicked the ball yesterday. Remember, past, you put ed. Oh, do you remember what to do if it's future? Yeah, you got to put will. We will draw a picture. You haven't done it yet, but you will draw it. That's future. Alright, in present. Present, we can put an S or an ing, or in the present, you can also just leave it alone. Like, the boys write a letter. They're doing that right now, so I can leave that alone. Excuse me, I can leave that one alone. You don't have to do anything if it's present, but you can put an S or an ing. So I could have put writes or writing, but leaving it alone with write is fine too. And then we have past again. We have to change look to past, and if you remember the past, that's when we put ed. Yep. We looked at the night sky yesterday to see if we could see the Big Dipper. Looked means you already did it. Alright, so hopefully you understand what to do in the past, the present, and the future now. And I think you're ready to kind of practice it on your own. So when you get into your assignment here in just a second, you're going to see different words and you're going to have to change it to past, present, or future. So you'll just have to pay attention to what it's asking you to do. Just remember that if it's in the present, you can leave it alone, or you can put an S or an ing. If it's in the past, you have to add ed. And if it's in the future, you have to put, the word will. Alright, good job. And if you have any trouble, remember you can send me a message and I can help you. Alright, bye guys, good luck.